Welcome back. Today we're going to be addressing concerns of a young lady with regards to walking home at night. The concept of taking precaution when you go down a dark alley, or to quote Moody, constant vigilance. So take it away, Bluebird. Oh, actually, before we start, I do quite like that particular colour blue. It's kind of like candy blue. I like it. While appropriated by feminists like yourself, and even though I don't agree with some of the things you believe in, I do quite like that colour. And I thought I'd say it now, because I'm a massive sexist.
A commenter on my street harassment video said that women should take precautions to avoid getting harassed.
To give my viewers better context, I have taken the opportunity to pull the link for that video you've mentioned and put it in the description below under the title Street Harassment Video. Now that quote is from a comment thread of 13 comments at the bottom. It's on the screen now as well. Well, the comment that has that quote is there. The rest of the thread can be easily summarized though as questioning the credibility of the sources you provide. Everyday feminism is not a source. My apologies to you, Bluebird, but it is not a source. Now, while I have already read the comment thread that I have shown on the screen in its entirety, all 13 comments, I'm going to allow Bluebird to tell you what she said.
Now, firstly, this is a prime example of victim blaming.
Not really, but we'll get on to that later. Also, you were accused twice in your comments section of being someone that was yourself victim blaming. I probably need to watch your video to understand why they said that.
I mean, you're telling people to do certain things to avoid getting attacked.
Because naturally, once you've taught someone not to commit a crime, they'll never commit a crime. By that logic, you should leave your front door unlocked, because nobody is going to go in and rob you, because we've all been taught not to steal.
As if being attacked is some natural occurrence and is bound to happen unless you do something about it.
I'll be honest, people have been getting attacked for millennia, so you have to wonder whether or not it could be regarded as a natural occurrence. Now, whether or not people should do something about it is a yes, and I know feminists who will say the same. I know for a fact groups like the Skeptic Feminists teach women self-defense because of this. Sorry, milady, Bluebird, but people should know how to defend themselves. And there are reasons, there are quite a lot of reasons, whether it be some kind of cultural divide, community divide, where you go from one community to another and it isn't exactly as welcoming as the one you were previously in. It's just one poor example, I know, but there are many more. If I had more time, I would go into them.
Which it isn't. It's scumbags attacking people.
So as you've acknowledged scumbags exist, surely you'd want to either carry something to protect yourself with or learn a martial art to enable yourself to better protect yourself.
So telling women to take precautions is almost the same as asking a rape victim what they were wearing or if they were drunk. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to take precautions to avoid getting attacked.
Okay, so firstly, asking a woman to take precautions is nowhere near the same as asking a victim of rape what they were wearing, because you are asking someone to be prepared if a crime is about to be committed, whereas if you're asking someone what they're wearing after they've been sexually assaulted, the crime has already happened. That is not the same or nearly the same. That level of stupid is typically reserved for the exhibition of stupidity, but you brought it now. Thank you so much. I really didn't appreciate it.
You shouldn't have to take precautions to avoid getting attacked or harassed. It's a fucking awful mindset to have.
To those that have noticed, I played the first part of that quote at the end of the last part I responded to, and again now. It was relevant then, and it is relevant now. So, to answer you, I agree, but... And I could agree with the why should I take precautions, because it is like assuming there are rapists everywhere and you don't want to live in fear. Problem here, and I'm going to quote my friend Mim Headroom here, feminists want women to not take precautions and live in a dread-filled state by amplifying the assumption that rapists are literally everywhere, but again, personal responsibility has never been a part of progressive risk management. Thank you, Mim. Go subscribe to his channel. He's awesome.
Women already take so many precautions to avoid getting harassed. So telling them to take precautions is a null comment. We shouldn't have to, but it's kind of necessary now.
Just for the sake of equality, men also take precautions because, believe it or not, men also get attacked. Not much of a surprise to that. But also, this all seems like you're just getting very upset because while you acknowledge women get told to take precautions, other people telling you to take precautions on top of that has triggered you so that you'd complain about it in a video. Why not just do what most do when they don't like other opinions or to be told the same thing over and over again in the comments? Delete it and tell them to donate to your Patreon.
So what do we do? I don't hear you ask because you're the other side of the internet.
The reason he didn't ask is because based on the statistics you put in the reply to his initial comment, clearly no one's doing anything. So why would he have to ask what people are doing to take responsibility or take precautions? Simple, because no one is already based on the numbers you provided in the comment and in that video and in the description with those quotations, citations.
We go to places in groups, like going to a public bathroom or walking down the street, going shopping.
There is some merit to the concept of you are safer in large numbers. Think of herds, packs. Yeah, there's some sense to that. My question to you is, why on earth would you use a public bathroom? Those things are disgusting at the best of times. I have a second question. Earlier you said this.
You shouldn't have to take precautions to avoid getting attacked.
Which to me completely undermines the fact that you still take precautions anyway. It's almost like it's natural to defend yourself, regardless of whether or not you should have to or not.
We carry pepper spray and rape whistles with us.
Both of which are perfectly reasonable things to carry in your bag as precautions. Unfortunately, in the United Kingdom, pepper spray is illegal, but we do have an alternative. There is one alternative called Farb Gel Spray Criminal Identifier. If you want to carry something like pepper spray, that is what you carry.
And in some places, pepper spray is illegal. I have some friends who carry mini deodorants in their bag to act as pepper spray.
I strongly recommend you tell those friends to acquire Farb Gel Spray Criminal Identifier, as spraying deodorant into someone's eyes would get you charged with assault.
We have safety calls on dates. Whether it's going to the bathroom and calling up your friend to say, please call me, I need an out.
Don't people already do this on dates anyway? I'm not now trying to denigrate the violent aspect, potential violent aspect in dating. I swear there's some kind of lemon law in this.
Or it could be a pre-arranged call with a code word. Me and my mum do this all the time when one of us has gone out on a date. We pretend to have a boyfriend when someone won't leave us alone, because for some reason the only way that some guys can get it into their heads that you don't want to be talked to is because you belong to another guy. Like, not being interested isn't enough. Being a lesbian isn't enough. Being out with your friends and not looking for anyone isn't enough. You have to go as far as to say, I have a boyfriend, leave me alone, I belong to someone else. And even then it sometimes doesn't work.
At this point, you no longer need to take precautions with a rape whistle or pepper spray or the alternative pepper spray. Instead, you're talking about dickheads in nightclubs or bars. These people, male or female, exist, and they're dickheads. That's it. What really bugs me right now is that you have taken what was initially a serious topic that you had misunderstood and somehow twisted it to dickheads in bars.
Just, if someone isn't interested, leave them the hell alone.
As someone that has been regularly hit on in bars, I can safely say I 100% agree. If you don't, I will spray you with Farb Gel Spray Criminal Identifier. Yeah. Fucking take that.
And the last precaution I'm going to talk about today is walking home with your keys between your knuckles.
Before you reel off your, quite frankly, pathetic reasoning for putting keys between your fingers, I'm going to tell you how you're wrong and what you should do instead. So, the reason you are wrong is quite simply because when you clench your fist without any objects in, it fits nicely. You add metal, foreign objects in between each of your fingers, trained or untrained, and you throw a punch. The added stress to the bones in your hands will cause damage and potentially break them. For the damage you do, it is not worth it. Instead, attach your fob to your keyring, hold the fob, and swing like a morning star. Simply over time, as you gain confidence, it is faster and you will be more powerful. This is a highly regarded thing to do. Do not put items between your fingers. Have you ever seen anyone punch with brass knucks on? Yeah, those guys break their hands a lot. Anyone who says otherwise is an idiot and a liar.
Not only could you easily jab someone with them if someone comes up to attack you, but you have your keys in a hand ready to enter your car or your house or wherever without having to fumble around, because quite often if someone's following you, they will wait until you're fumbling around. That time between stopping and going into your house is a prime time to attack someone. So many people walk with their keys between their knuckles.
I will concede there is sense to carrying your keys in your hands, but not to use as a weapon with the keys between your fingers. If you do that, Blue Bird, you're going to break your delicate little hand. I box, I promise you I box. If I throw a punch with those between my fingers, my weapon is gone.
But even with all these precautions and more, women still get harassed, attacked and raped on a regular basis.
As far as statements go, that is quite a broad and vague statement to make. In your last video, the comments section, you pointed out certain statistics. Those statistics were derived from very biased sources. You genuinely believe, based on what I have seen, you believe in rape culture. You believe in patriarchy. You believe in this because of the evidence you provided. It's indicative of someone who is well indoctrinated into something that is not true.
If you're someone who says that women wouldn't get harassed if they took these precautions and more, then you're a crappy person. You really are. Because not only does it negate all the ways that we already take precautions, it also implies that women who don't take these precautions deserve to get raped or harassed, or they should expect it to happen, which is an awful mentality to have.
Perhaps it would just be easier if I told you the kind of person I am instead. I believe all people should be allowed to walk freely during the day or at night without fear of being assaulted. I have not included harassment because what is and is not harassment these days is very vague. But I do accept that violence will still happen because there are dickheads out there. I accept they exist and they will always exist. They're like bullies. Bullies will always exist. There will always be people who try to break the rules. I believe all people should take precautions when they go out late at night. I also accept that there are huge problems, certainly within my own country, where we have cultural divides, societal cultural divides, where people are being raised very differently in very different environments, rich, poor. And it's not just that, we have the educational divide, and these problems create other problems that lead to, well, more problems. Lots of problems. I have been contemplating for years going on a quest to find the factory reset button for England. I'm not entirely sure where it is, but I will find it if I can be jaffed.
I'm going to leave some more tips on how to be cautious in the description because some women don't know all these things, and yeah, I want to help them in case the need ever arises.
While your intentions in this particular area are good, your earlier advice was terrible, so I'm going to recommend no one listen and instead go to credible sources or maybe attend self-defense classes.
I hope that no one ever has to use these things.
Me too, because the last thing I want you to do is to get sued by somebody who took your advice to put their keys between their fingers.
So yeah, I hope you took something away from this video, whether it be a new tip or a different way of thinking about being harassed, then yay, I'm glad.
Over the course of this video, I have taken away 3 things. The first, you don't know how to defend yourself, obviously, and I will leave a couple links below to suitable defense techniques that do involve keys. 2, I had never heard of the pepper spray alternative. Clearly you hadn't either. I recommend you recommend it to other people you know so they don't use deodorant and go to prison. And 3, Bearing looks a lot better with that blue hair than you do. Thank you all for listening.